Join me for this 20-minute class on yoga for pole dancing. This sequence will be targeting the lower, mid and upper back along with the abdominal muscles and the arms. Roll out your mat to begin. Starting in our hero pose, hips resting on your heels, toes tucked under, rolling the shoulders down and back. Lift your arms in prayer. Exhale, open through the chest, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Inhale to close. Exhale, open, keeping the elbows lifted. Inhale, close, rounding through the spine. Repeat this movement in your own time, thinking of it as a cat and cow movement, but just involving the upper back. Make your way into a tabletop position. Take some circles with the body, bringing the hips down and around to the left, around to the right, down, to the left, back, to the right, and down. Stop and go the other way, this time circling left, down, right, and back. Taking one more here. Take the knees slightly wider than hip width, toes together. Lift the left arm into the sky and thread it underneath the right arm. Resting the left shoulder and left side of the face on the mat. Dropping the hips onto the heels in this child's pose variation. Take a few breaths here. While you are resting here, I would like you to think about today's theme. The theme of this class is spinal fluidity. I encourage you to find ways to increase movement and length in the spine. Ask yourself, how can you make this movement more fluid? Gently lift yourself back up into a tabletop position. This time, right arm raises into the ear, threading under the left arm. Right shoulder and right side of the head rest on the mat. Pressing the hips back to the heels until you are comfortable. For more support, you can place a rolled up towel or blanket beneath your hips. A few more breaths here. When you are ready, slowly lift yourself up and press back into a regular child's pose. Option for knees apart or knees together, whichever feels best in your body. Walk your hands to the right, feeling a stretch down the left side body. Return your hands to center, and this time walk them to the left, feeling a stretch down the right side body. Return your hands to center. Slowly lift the torso up and bring the knees in to hip width. Stack the hips over the knees and walk the hands forward until you are close enough to rest your forehead on the mat. An option here is to place a yoga block underneath your forehead. A blanket can be placed underneath the knees for more support. You are welcome to stay here, or you can take a different variation where you anchor the elbows to the mat and join the hands in prayer, lifting your hands to the nape of your neck. Explore how this feels in your body and which variation you prefer. When you are ready, we're going to transition into our baby cobra. Anchoring the elbows, gazing forward, swooping the hips down to the mat. Bringing the hands out wide, pressing into the fingertips, lifting the torso up and coming back down. Pressing and lifting and lowering in a wave-like motion. This time, press right up, placing the hands on the mat for our full cobra. Press into the knees, tuck the toes under, lift the hips to the sky and meet in downward dog. Pedal the feet out if necessary, bending one knee at a time. Remembering our focus on spinal fluidity. Can you bend the knees a little more in order to lift the hips to straighten out through the spine? Or can you engage the arms a little more, really pressing the shoulder blades away from your ears? Take a few more nourishing breaths here. Breathing slow and deep will help send signals to your body to relax a little further. Right leg rises for three-legged dog. Bending the knee, opening up through the hip, taking some hip circles. With that knee bent, circling in and out and around. Really warming up that hip joint and changing direction. Taking one more circle, and with this last one, opening up through the hip. Open the right hip so much that you can press that right foot onto the mat, lifting up into our wild thing. A lovely side body stretch. And meeting back in downward dog. This time, left foot rises for three-legged dog, bending at the knee, opening up through the hip, and taking some hip circles, just like we did on the other side. changing direction. Take one more circle and open up through the hip, lowering that left foot to the mat and opening up into our wild thing. And meeting back in downward dog when you are ready. Gaze towards your hands and take 4 to 6 small steps towards them, meeting in a standing forward fold, Uttanasana. Grab opposite elbows and take some rocks from side to side with a generous bend in the knees. Feeling that spinal release. You can stay here, or for a deeper stretch, intertwine your hands behind you and release those hands over your head. Maybe taking some gentle rocks from side to side, leading with the hands, really getting into the shoulders and upper back. Whichever version of this posture you are in, please meet in Uttanasana. Step the left foot back, bending the right knee. Lift yourself up to your crescent lunge. Resting the hands on your knee. Rest the left hand on your bottom leg. Lift the right hand up above. Now right elbow comes to right knee, left arm comes up above, like an extended side angle. Press both hands on the mat. Turn the back foot sideways. Straighten both legs. Lift the left arm for Trikonasana, triangle pose. Maybe adding in some circles with the arm. Remembering you can place the bottom hand on the mat, your ankle, or a yoga block. Bend through the front knee and meet back in Uttanasana, standing fold. This time step the right foot back, bending the left knee for crescent, hands on the front knee. Right arm reaches behind you, left arm up above. Left elbow reaches left knee, right arm up above. Pressing both hands on the mat, turn the back foot sideways, lengthening through both legs, and lifting the right arm, perhaps taking some circles. Lower both hands to the mat and turn both feet to face lengthways, taking a wide-legged forward fold. You may press one hand into the center of the mat while lifting the other hand directly above, twisting, gazing up at that hand in the sky, and swapping to the other side. Release the hands to the mat, a yoga block, your ankles, or for a different variation, intertwining your hands behind you, like how we did in Uttanasana, lowering them over your head. Focusing on your breath, slow and deep, sending your breath towards any tight areas. From whichever version of this pose you are in, press the hands to the mat, narrow your stance, toes pointed out slightly. Bend the knees coming down into your yoga squat. You may place a yoga block beneath each heel. Press one hand into the mat in front, lifting the other hand out behind you, gazing towards it, and swapping to the other side. drawing the tailbone down, creating length in the spine. Lower onto your sit bones. Bring your legs out in front of you, bending the knees. Wrap your arms around your knees and curve through the spine, tucking the chin into the chest. Really pull your back away from your hands, using this as leverage to pull your shoulder blades apart. One more breath here. Release and come into a kneeling position at the top of your mat, allowing enough room behind you. Shift your calf muscles to the side and lower down onto your elbows. You are welcome to stay here, but if you'd like to take this further, you can release your back all the way to the ground. Possibly even lifting the arms up overhead. This is a deep quadriceps stretch. If you feel any sharp pain in the knees, please take a child's pose instead. We will stay here for a few breaths. One more breath here. If you are laying down, slowly lift yourself back up onto your elbows. Take a few breaths here before lifting all the way up, allowing your body to adjust before meeting in child's pose. Slowly lift yourself up before coming into a comfortable seated position. Place the right hand on the mat, lift the left arm overhead, creating a stretch down the left side body. Inhale, and on your exhale, lift your torso back to center, and this time place the left hand down, lifting the right arm overhead, feeling a stretch down the right side body. Inhale, and on your exhale, return to center. Lifting up through the spine, take a spinal twist to the right. Return to center and take a spinal twist to the left. Return to center and meet with your hands in prayer. I hope today's theme of spinal fluidity has created a different experience for you. Thank you for practicing with me today. Sending love and light.